I was going to invite all my friends tonight, but I think I ran out. This is for 371 by Simon Waltonson, with art by John Buscema, that is Sal Buscema's brother. And this begins the infamous Judge Dredd saga. This introduced some concepts that went on to be in that stupid television show, but more importantly, went on to be in more Simon Waltonson stories. This character on the cover is Judge Dredd. He is an agent of an interdimensional police force who oversee the continued flow of the time stream. But in Fairyland, Baldric has been anointed king. Anthony Hopkins is believed dead, so Baldric has assumed the throne of Fairyland. And I am not ever that enthusiastic about Fairyland stuff. Even Simon Waltonson, I love his run, and he was the closest to getting me to care about Fairyland. But at the end of the day, it's all just not for me. It's fantasy stuff. I just want to see Thor hit things with his magic hammer. We have an unusual story for a Thor comic. It's actually calling back to the run that came before Simon Waltonson took over the book. And it's also bringing back this character from the Silver Age, this overweight schlub. He is called Thug Thatcher. He was a mobster who Thor encountered in the 60s. Well, he is back now, and he is fresh out of prison. And now he wants to get revenge on Thor for putting him in prison in the first place. And he has taken this woman and her kids hostage, and he has concocted a plan to break a Thor enemy out of prison to assist in his revenge. Back in Fairyland, I just want to say that this is my favourite look for Thor. The classic costume, but with a beard. That is my ideal Thor design. And then on Earth, in the bustling city centre of New Yorkland, Judge Dredd arrives via a time porthole. And he is a bit like that movie RoboCop, because he cracks down on lawbreakers. And there are some jaywalkers, so he shoots them with his future gun, which rewrites their brains so that they will never jaywalk again. And Judge Dredd, he comes from the future, and he has come back in time, like that movie, The Terminator. He has came back to fix an anomaly in the time stream. Thor shows up and starts fighting Judge Dredd. And Judge Dredd, it's a bit like that movie, Time Cop. Personally, I would have accepted a full issue of Thor fighting Judge Dredd, but we only get 3 pages, leaving me a bit wanton. Judge Dredd, he shoots at Thor with his future missile, which upon impact transforms into a brace to restrain him. The future is a crazy place. Our seemingly unrelated plotline with the mobster continues. The woman is forced to sneak a message into prison, and it's for the inmate that is going to be sprung. And this is a one-off bad guy from the run before this. He is called Zaniac. He was a crazy man who was a serial killer. He was an actor. He was playing a serial killer in a film. Then he went psycho and actually became a serial killer. And he only kills women. But there's this whole other part of his setup, which is that he was possessed by an alien force that made him do all that. And through that, he also has super strength and magic knife powers. It's all very confusing, but the mobster just assumes that this guy is a psycho killer, maybe with some superpowers, rather than this evil entity inside a serial killer. So he escapes from prison, and we start to uncover the mobster's plan, and it is a pretty good plan. It is a shame that it gans tits up for him. From his run-in with Thor in the 60s, he pegged that Natalie Portman was connected to Thor in some way. So now, to strike back at Thor, he is going to get the serial killer to murder Natalie Portman. But Zaniac is so unhinged. The minute that he sees the woman who is being held captive, he murders her because she is a woman. This here is his magic knife powers. He can make a knife appear out of thin air. In the struggle that ensues afterwards, Zaniac gets shot, but then his body explodes into various vermin who attack Thug Thatcher and his hired goon. And then one of the critters bites Thug Thatcher, and this causes Thug Thatcher to transform into Zaniac. Trust us, you can read all the Zaniac handybook profiles you want, but it will never really make much sense. Accept it for what it is, just a weird, high-concept character with a bunch of contrasting ideas that seem to have been thrown in a blender. This issue is an odd one. It doesn't seem to have the most focus. We begin with Fairyland, then we get a Judge Dredd, and then Thug Thatcher and Zaniac. They take over the last half of the issue. I kind of like how all over the shop it is, how unconventional it is. Simon Waltonson isn't pigeonholing Thor into the same type of stories or environments. We have so many different things here. We have Fairyland, we have time travel, we have mobsters and serial killers, we have weird life force things. We'll look at part 2 as soon as possible. 7 thumbs up.